Trina, why won't you share your voice with me? Grant me more of your poison, that I might drift further into sleep. Perhaps then you'll grace me with your voice.
For this video, guys, we're going to be going over Thiollier and why he's such a tragic character in the DLC. When we first meet Thiollier in the DLC, he's isolated away from the rest of the group on his own, like a true introvert. And though he's tarnished, unlike the others, he's not a true warrior. He explains it the best himself.
But well, I'm not much good at anything is all. I'm as weak as a kitten and thick as two planks. I've always been this way, since the very day I was born. I'm afraid the only thing I'm proficient in is poison. Sorry.
You can tell by his interactions the way that he is. He doesn't speak to a lot of people, and judging by the way that he speaks, when he does, he's not treated very well by them. Even when he says that poison is his weapon and that's what he can help you with, he even quickly apologizes after, as it's so looked down upon. Of all the party of Lidas, though, there is one person that he seems he gets along with the most, and that would be Mor. Because Mor is friends with the pest, or might even be one himself, it goes to show why him and Thiollier would have a closer connection, because they were both shunned by everybody that they were around from birth. Though in Thiolier's case, I don't think it was from birth, just an early time in his life.
What's this? I have to say, Sir Mor has an awfully sharp eye, doesn't he? It's wonderful. This ebony, as lustrous as the night sky unending. I don't think I could ever thank him enough, but I'll have to think of something. Forgive me. You two deserve your share of the reward. I'll mix up something special. If you find yourself weary of the weight of this life, then just give me the word. Sleep is a balm. An eternal sleep is an elixir.
From this line of dialogue, we learn that he does want to pay people back who do good things for him. Transactional at the very least, although it does take a bit of a dark side at the end, because he does tell you that if you're weary of life, he has a concoction that will put you to sleep permanently. He gives you this concoction after you help him as a reward. This means, in his opinion, he is weary of life himself, and he thinks that giving that to you would be of benefit. The description of the concoction states that he made this trying to recreate the sleep that Saint Trina had given him. Once Mikla's Great Rune is broken and the charm fades, we do find out more about his connection to Saint Trina.
Are you not affected? Even with the spell broken, I'm feeling rather lost, haunted by memories of Saint Trina, her visage, her sen, the lure of velvety sleep. Would kindly Mikala chasten me for falling for Saint Trina, while knowing that she was the discarded half? The problem is, I simply cannot help it. I would sacrifice everything just to gaze upon her one last time.
Right when you start speaking with him, you can already tell how distraught he is with the charm broken. He's already thinking of Saint Trina again. And he also mentions how the fact that she is the discarded half, he's even afraid that Mikala will hold indignation towards him for his infatuation with Trina. For him, sacrificing everything in his life just to see her one more time is enough for him. That just goes to show how heavily infatuated with her that he really is. He then recounts how Mor told him on the southern side of the map there's deep purple water lilies blooming, and so he's convinced that Saint Trina is residing there. After you make your way to the rift and come back and tell him, he actually thinks you're lying to him. He reacts negatively because I think in his past life he was treated so bad by everybody and scorned that he's convinced you're just tricking or lying to him. Though he does correct himself, he does have an outburst.
Are you certain of this? Is this all a plot to make a mockery of me? Oh heavens, what am I saying? Forgive me. You deserve my deepest gratitude. I will make the journey to the southern coast, as you say, to venture into the depths of the fissure.
After you make your way to the very bottom past the putrescent night, you find him in Saint Trina's garden. As he's laying in a puddle of putrescence, he basically mentions to you that he plans on going into this velvety sleep forever and never returning, also warning you not to follow his path, as he believes he is the chosen one of Saint Trina, and that this is only reserved for him. Whenever in his past life it was that he experienced this velvety sleep from St. Trina for the first time, it permanently changed him forever. The rest of his life was chasing that very same feeling. It's really sad because up to this point, Thiollier was scorned and loathed by everybody around him because he was a poison user. So he probably never had friends, companions, or someone to love. And that's why when he felt the velvety embrace of that sleep, he spent his entire life trying to recreate it through his own poison and to feel it again himself. All he wants now is to fall into that sleep again, hear St. Trina's voice and see her face at the end of his life. So when he lays there forever, not hearing it, and then you are the one to hear it, he cannot handle it.
Enough. I cannot believe your cheek. And I will stand for it no longer. I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you. For your trespass, you will know my poison.
Even after the trust you've built with him, he still cannot accept that you're the one that can hear St. Trina's words and not him, and he doesn't believe you. After you defeat him during the invasion, he asks you what St. Trina's words really were if you were telling the truth. And after telling him what she wants you to do with Mikola, he really has a meltdown.
Please, assuming you spoke the truth back then, what did St. Trina tell you? You are a wretched, wretched soul. A nightmare come to plague me. Such a thing could possibly be. Could it? St. Trina, please let me hear your voice in my everlasting slumber.
This is a point in which you leave Thiollier in the garden and just continue on with the quest. You make your way through Rao, you make your way to Irithyllian, and once you get up to the top to fight Lita, he actually joins you. I think he makes his own choice to join you, without receiving any visions from Trina. I think that he just does eventually believe that you were telling the truth, and decides to take you at your word and to follow you to the end.
I am deeply sorry for doubting you. I am here only to grant St. Trina's singular wish. I will stop Mikola the Kind. He will never become a god.
The first place he helps you is up against his compatriots. He laments the fight against Moore, who I think he was closest to out of the group. He even criticizes Lita for not knowing the true nature of Mikola or St. Trina.
You have no understanding of kind Mikola, of St. Trina's love. I am here to serve St. Trina evermore. Samor, I do not wish to fight you, but I have a new purpose I must see through.
All of this just really goes to show how deep his conviction for St. Trina is. He fights his former compatriots with you, the only true people that he ever probably had a connection with throughout his entire life, not even truly knowing if you were telling the truth. He then even lays down his life in the fight against promised consort Radon and Mikola. He did this without receiving that velvety sleep that he was waiting his entire life to feel again. This means that he sacrificed his life for St. Trina, gaining nothing out of it. She gave him the velvety sleep once that entranced him, and after that he gave his entire life for her. This is really sad because it's all one-sided. She tempted him with something that he came back for and wanted forever but could never get again. He was devoted to her for the majority of his life and then even laid it down for her at the end, receiving nothing in return, all the while knowing that after the fight with Mikola he's most likely not going to survive it. Thiollier is a character that ever since he was young he was scorned and loathed by everybody, found somebody that finally made him feel something, and fell deeply in love with them. Which is really sad because the reality is that she only really used him. You could say that he kind of was chosen in the sense that if he wasn't a disciple of her, he wouldn't have followed you into the end, but at the very same time, he really gained nothing from it. It's somebody who's never experienced something positive and finally given that by somebody, and then falling deeply in love with that person, only for them to really throw you away and not want anything to do with you anymore. All he wanted was to peacefully pass with that positive feeling that he felt once in his entire life. He forsakes his own personal wishes just to make sure that hers came true, even if it meant he had to stand against a god and a demigod alone, and to have his own desires unrequited. This to me makes him one of the most heroic, honorable and bravest NPCs in the entire series from any of the Souls games. I couldn't help but see a little bit of myself in Thiollier too, which is one of the reasons I felt a pretty strong connection to him. But let me know what you guys think of the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Share if you really enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll catch you guys next time.